Welcome. This is Chris at the South Carolina Beekeeping Association Summer Conference, and I'm here with Bob Binnie of Blue Ridge Honey Company. Bob, thank you so much for being here.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. What's been your favorite thing so far that a
Well,
keynote or?
the speakers,
Yeah.
yeah, David, Ned, David Tarpey, and Mr. Ed, they're great speakers. So it's been fun listening to them, and then of course seeing the vendor show. That's always
Mhm.
fun. I like to see what's going on there wherever I go. And this has been a pretty good one for State Club. You have a pretty good vendor show here. It's very nice.
Did you get the opportunity to see the kids witnessing the hive inspections at
No,
all?
I did not see that.
Yeah,
No.
it was pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody took some pictures of it, or at
Good.
least be able to
Good.
tell you about it. So, the theme of this conference is past, present, and future. So, I'm
Hmm.
going to just ask you a couple questions about your past, present, and then what you see for the
Okay.
future of beekeeping. You've built a successful commercial beekeeping company.
Hmm.
When you were first starting out, what would you say were some of the biggest challenges in upscaling?
Money.
Money.
Seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It takes, if you're going to make a business out of this thing, it takes so much money. I have a good friend who's a commercial beekeeper with 500 colonies. He's been doing it for 4 decades, very successful. And he made the comment that he's making about the same money, same salary as a master plumber or a master carpenter, but he has so much more investment. They might have a truck and some tools, whereas he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of extracting equipment and beehive equipment. So, yeah, it takes a lot of money. The one difference in what I found and I'm experiencing right now, if you take care of these assets, eventually there's something that you can liquidate. When you get to the point of retiring. So, I don't have a 401k, but I have a beekeeping company that's worth some money. That's about paid off. So, those expenditures are hard up front, but eventually they can come back and pay you dividends.
Yeah. So you talked about expenses being one of the big challenges starting up. Looking at today with technology, do you have a lot of automation, or do you use a lot of technology for sustainability or anything like that in your program?
Well, I don't get involved in software and the bee yards and that type of technology, but in our honey processing and our website, of course, and inside our retail store, we're trying to take advantage of technology. Um, we have semi-automated honey bottling equipment, and we have automated equipment, and they're all computerized to some extent. So, in that way, we're taking advantage of modern technology.
Do you think it's more of a benefit to the lack of technology? For instance, I know in some of your videos I've seen after you guys leave a bee yard, some of your employees are there with a binder taking notes.
Yeah, that's on me. Literally making notes in a spiral binder. I'm kind of old school. You see that I'm making YouTube videos, so I'm learning some skills, but I got so much going on. A lot of the new technology, there's a learning curve, and that takes time too.
Mhm.
And at this point in my career, I'll be 72 here in a few months. I'm not sure just how much I want to invest, both financially and time wise, in new technology. I'm slow to learn, software type applications and things because that's not what I grew up with. So for me, I think I'm just going to, as far as in the bee yards and that way, I'm just going to hang with the old fashioned way, keep notes in a book. And
That's what the backside of this
well,
is.
you're doing it right here.
Yeah,
Sure
it's
are.
the
Yeah.
backside of this is actually my notes on my bee yards as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
um, the future, right? So where do you see the future of commercial beekeeping going? Do you see any more automation, sustainability, issues with bee health, or hopefully some progress with bee health?
Yeah, I was just in North Carolina at a convention with Blake Shook, and he brought up the subject of uh, corporate takeover of
Mm.
beekeeping industry, and it's kind of happening. You see it in this for sure. You see it in the bee supply side, but you're also starting to see large investment outfits pick up large quantities of bees and hire somebody to oversee the whole thing. And so I guess that's much like modern farming. You
Mhm.
see less and less of the small farms and more of the huge farms. And perhaps the farms are owned by a group of investors and they've hired somebody to run it. And you're starting to see that show up in beekeeping, but there's a little bit of a problem with it. In my view, I don't think that those corporate bee outfits will ever have the quality that an individual owned bee outfit will. You know, if you're involved and you're one of the beekeepers, you're going to be seeing it in up close and in fine detail. I just don't see the corporations doing as good a job as the individual or sole proprietorship type bee operations. So it'll be, who knows, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. And I'm also seeing more, of course, this has always been happening. I've been watching this for over 40 years. There's plenty of the small people that just want three, four, five, 600 colonies, a man and his wife, or,
Hmm.
you know, a man and his one helper or something. There's still plenty of that going on. Um, I think that actually a lot of the people that watch my YouTube channel are attracted to what I'm doing because they see lessons for them at that
Yeah.
level, that type of level. I'm not a huge beekeeper. You know, the most colonies I've ever had was 2,800 colonies. Now we're down around 1,300. As I get older, I'm getting smaller, trying to do more with less, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
More intensive management and perhaps a little easier that way. We'll see. You know, I used to travel the country for years, decades. I would travel to numerous states chasing honey flows and pollinating. And I don't want to do that anymore. Of course, that's a personal choice. And there's a lot of bees traveling this country,
Hmm.
but I see a lot of people just saying, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to figure out how to stay home and make as much profit out of my bee outfit as I can without traveling. So I think that's a bit of a change right now. When I got into the bee industry in the early 80s, people pollinated to kind of help them stay in business so they could produce honey. And over the last decade or two, you've seen a lot of beekeepers do just the reverse. They try to make a little honey to help them stay in business so they could
Hmm.
pollinate. And now I'm seeing it start to lean a little bit the other direction where people aren't quite as interested in pollination. They just want to stay home or stay in their region and figure out how to make money with their bees without traveling. So there's many changes, too many to keep up with, honestly.
I feel like a lot of it goes back to cost, to be honest with
Cost of doing
you. Yeah.
business, yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, it is costly to run a migratory outfit. And that's one of the things that, you know, at one point I got out a calculator and got out my pencil and figured out the wear and tear on
Mhm.
everything, including myself. And was it really, really, really worth it? And my view today in my area, I think I do just as well just by staying home and trying to produce nukes and packages and honey. And I you know, have more of a retail honey trade than I used to. So I'm kind of, I went up and now I'm kind of going back down the mountain, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Changing the way I do things.
Yes, sir. All right, a quick this or that, or would you rather, whatever you want to call it. So I got four options for you. Some of them, both options are great.
Okay.
Some of them, not so much, right? So you still have to pick one or the other. Starting off with sourwood honey or orange blossom for yourself. Like,
Uh-huh.
which one do you prefer?
Well, I prefer sourwood, and it's not just me. We offer honey tasting in our
Hmm.
retail store, and at any given time we'll have 6 to 12 different honeys that people can taste. And sourwood is consistently the number one bestseller. Orange blossom is probably on a scale of 1 to 10. It's probably about a number three, you know,
Hmm,
down the scale.
really?
Sourwood being at the top, and then right under that we have some very unique and interesting clover from Montana. That's a very good seller. Tupelo is a good seller. Black sage from California is a good seller. Our own local wildflower is a good seller.
Yeah,
It's actually number two, honestly. But orange blossom in our store is down there probably at about 1/3 up to scale. It,
interesting. All right, so beekeeping in the rain or beekeeping in the heat?
they're both
They're
miserable.
both miserable. Yeah.
I think I'd rather beekeep in the heat, actually. I've always been blessed with the ability to work in the heat. And I can work in the rain too, and I've done plenty of it, but it just feels more miserable to me.
Yeah, and I feel like at least with your operation, if it's raining at one bee yard, maybe not so much at another bee
Yeah.
yard. So you have that option to kind of move around a little bit.
Yeah. Now we don't mind a drizzle. We
Right.
work in drizzles all the time, but a driving rain, we really try to avoid that.
Real beekeepers doing it in the rain, right?
Real, yeah. We have a bumper sticker and a coffee mug that says that. Real beekeepers do it in the rain. But
Yes, sir.
if it's a really hard rain, we go sit it out in the truck.
All right. Full bee suit or just a veil?
Personal preference is My personal preference is different than the majority of the beekeepers out there. I started out with a full suit. I still wear a full suit, even in the heat. I wear a full suit, but part of my trick is I don't wear anything underneath. I don't have any shirts or shorts or anything. Just wear some brief underwear, and that's it. And also, at the end of the day, when my bee suit comes off, even though I might have been sweaty and had a rough day, I'm sort of clean.
Right.
I'm sort of clean when the bee suit comes off. Yeah, I guess it's just, and part of it's just a habit. It's what I've been used to, so I do that. I do work bees in a t-shirt with a veil sometimes, but not often. More so in the past. These days, wear the I wear 100% cotton bee suit. I don't like the polyester blend types. They're hotter to me. 100% cotton feels pretty good to me.
I feel like sometimes even the ventilated bee suits can be hotter, even though they have like a breeze coming through them.
Well, that's actually correct because first off, they tend to be heavier, and you need the breeze to make it effective. If you don't have a good breeze, then they are a little hotter, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, I would say the majority of beekeepers today are just wearing jackets.
Yeah, that's
My
that's
entire
what I do, yeah.
crew. I'm the only one that wears a bee suit. Everybody else just wears a jacket and some faded jeans or light colored jeans. Of course, dark colored jeans don't work really well.
Right.
Like the color of your shirt, you don't want to wear colors like that. But everybody that works for me just wears a jacket with a zip-on veil. I still use a cotton bee suit with a string type of veil because it's what I've always done, and a zip-on veil doesn't feels foreign to me.
All right. Peanut butter and honey sandwich or a biscuit with honey on it?
Oh, I love a peanut butter and honey sandwich. Some good raw type of peanut butter and some good sourwood honey. Love it. Sourdough or rye bread. I love it.
That's my son's favorite right now. Peanut
that
butter
right?
and honey, loves it. That and a banana on the side, he's set.
Now, I got to say, a good buttered biscuit with some honey on it is not bad.
It's not at all.
Not at all.
All right. So, if there's one thing you want the next generation of beekeepers to focus on, what would that be?
Well, if we're looking at the success of the industry, if we're looking at it from industry point of view, I'd say that the future needs to be looking at genetics. There's this endless array of mite treatments coming out, and we have to get more mite treatments because the old ones aren't working any longer. I really do feel that, and it might take 3 years, it might take 3 decades, but eventually genetics needs to become the answer. My talk today is about using chemicals and how they affect the colony and are absorbed by our comb and all of that. Actually, it's a problem with the whole planet. I think we have to get off the chemical wagon ride. It's just not good for us, the planet, or the bees. So I think genetics is something that the young people need to focus on and learn more about. And I think it's probably the future.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and I will make sure to tag your YouTube channel and have that in the description. Anything you want to end off with, or
no. Beekeeping's great. Don't be afraid of it. A lot of people are afraid to get into it, but once they do, they find that it's fascinating. It's a very fascinating hobby. It can be very satisfying as a occupation. Just be prepared for hard work.
Yes.
I think that's a little bit of why we've seen fewer beekeepers in the industry, is because not everybody wants to do that type of hard work. But there's plenty of us left out there.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, beekeeping has a good future, I feel.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Bob.
Appreciate it.